thanks for the extended music. I really appreciate that. I was really getting into it. I could have just done that for my 5 minutes. It would have been great. I'm Mark Williams. I'm from Indiana originally. No, don't cheer for Indiana. It's a terrible place. But the one good thing about Indiana is there I'm actually, I'm considered slim, so that's a nice thing. Here, not so much. I'm usually like the fattest person in the room, which is kind of tough. And I realized it had gotten bad when I saw that I weighed myself, and I'm the same height and weight as Homer Simpson, which is really bad. It's quite a wake-up call, I would say. And like any wake-up call, I hit snooze and waited a few months to take that advice. So, but you know, when you really let yourself go, you start having health problems, and I got something called fatty liver disease, which first of all, that's pretty insulting for a name of a disease. And second, it's exactly what you think it is. It's just like when you get so fat, your liver's like, fuck this. I don't care anymore. You're gonna die anyway, whatever. I'm fucking eating all I want. There's also there's a stigma with mental illness. I don't mind talking about it because it's really the only excuse for this. So, but I'm bipolar, bipolar 2, The Return. It's the shitty sequel. A little bit less euphoria and delusions of grandeur, and more irritability and general bitchiness. So. Self-loathing too. But I recently started taking medication to kind of help with my mood, and it's been working. But one thing I've noticed is that about 70% of my clothing is just gray. Like, I don't know what happened. I just opened my closet and saw all the great clothes. Like I was just in a fog for years, just buying great clothes. I felt like I was in like a Zoloft commercial. Like I got out of bed, walked over to my closet, open up, it's all gray, and then I take a pill and open it, it's all like colorful clothing and everything. But unfortunately, it didn't turn my clothes a different color. And if you're wondering, the other 30% of my clothes is just flannel, so. Let's see. Even with all these issues, though, I somehow managed to get married. So back in August. Thank you. It was really great. We were engaged for about 2 years, and that was really annoying because first the word fiance, it's like I don't want to have to speak another language to address my significant other, and it's like, do you put an accent mark on it or not? I mean, it's kind of difficult. And then people are always like, oh, when's the date? So when you finally do get, the date, my parents called me and they were like, so why are you getting married? And I was like, well, I've been engaged for about 2 years and it's kind of what you do. And they're like, okay. And then a week later, they called me again and they're like, so why are you getting married? And I was like, great. In my list of genetic disorders you've given me, I can put early onset dementia on that, I guess. But I finally figured out, I think they were asking me because they were trying to inquire if my future wife was pregnant, and that's the reason we were getting married. Which doesn't really make much sense to me because why would we have a wedding to celebrate an abortion? Doesn't make much sense. No, my wife's great though. The other day, she uses me to get things off the top shelf. She's very short, and she's like, "Come, can you get this for me?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." And I was like, "Oh, I need to get the step ladder." She's like, "Well, why even do it then? If you're gonna get the step ladder." And I'm like, "Oh, so you just wanted to see me go like." Here you go. I guess that's an essential part of being a husband. I'll leave you guys with one more thing. I was at Venice Beach this last weekend, and there's like the freak show Well, it's Venice Beach, but there's the specific building for the specific freaks. And one of the ones they have is, of course, the sword swallower. And my only question is really, how do you get started on that? I feel like you'd have to like go to the hospital and like stand on the sidewalk in front of the front doors, and then you just, and then they'd run out and be like, we got another one! Goddamn sword swallowers. All right, I'm Mark Williams. Thanks, everybody.